Tonight's film is a dramatization based on published accounts, police reports, personal interviews, and court documents. Composite characters have been used and names have been changed.
So she takes us into the bedroom, which is where she says it happened. Then she opens up this drawer, and inside, well...
What? Whips and chains?
Whips and chains. Hey, Matthew, you want to step into the 20th century?
Come on, give me some cards I can use.
No, not just whips and chains. We're talking high-tech stuff here. Stainless steel, leather.
What? Leather?
Leather. And wait. Then she says, "Officer, please, let me show you how it happened." And she begins to lay this stuff out on the bed.
Oh, come on.
That happens to me every time.
Come on.
I swear that's how it happened.
Yeah, you swear. Hey, bud.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing, buddy? Hey, you want to sit in a couple hands?
Sure.
Did you bring your money?
Well, you better give it to your dad because he's going to be needing
Look at that. Who says? You all ready for bed?
Haven't brushed my teeth
You
yet.
haven't brushed your teeth? You go brush your teeth. I'll be right up. Okay?
Boy, he is growing up, isn't he?
Oh, man. Yeah, but wait. I want to get this
about
straight.
this leather.
So, wait. She's going to chain herself to the bed to help recreate the crime?
Oh, yeah, very helpful witness. Let's make it $1.
He's buying it.
Wait, so what'd you do? I mean, you couldn't let her, right?
It was a crime scene, crime reenactment. Gotta have pictures.
That's right.
I'm gonna see these pictures.
Hey, where are these pictures?
Held in strictest confidence, very much like my hand here. That's $1.
No, I'm gonna fold, but I'll be right back.
Fold in. Well, I'm gonna bet $1.
Everyone used to be afraid of those old wild foxes?
I'm not afraid anymore. They're just like dogs.
Just like dogs. Good night, big boy.
Good night, Dad.
Sweet dreams. What's that music? You know, I do not allow that kind of music in this house. How do you open this?
Dad, I don't know what kind of music you're talking about.
You know exactly what kind I'm talking about.
Full boat, aces and nines.
Can't take you anywhere.
Hey, hon! Hey, honey, would you bring a sponge or something?
What, are you boys to the spilled drink stage already? Oh.
I finally won a hand and I got a little excited.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
All right, the name of the game is Follow the Queen.
I don't know it.
7-card stud. Next card up after a queen's wild.
So the wild card can change?
Almost certainly will. Follow the queens, gentlemen. Follow the queens. Ladies control our fate in this game. In that respect, a lot like life.
You drive safe. I'll see you next week. Bye. Adios.
You enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's fun, buddy.
Good night, Roberta.
Take him home.
Y'all drive
No
carefully.
stops along the way.
In closing, I'm going to use a word that you probably thought you'd never hear from this pulpit. That word is clairvoyance. But I don't mean it like the pagans do, like the UFO riding, crystal squeezing, aroma sniffing New Agers. Oh no, I mean just what the word says. Clear sight. The power to see clearly what's all around you. The Christ-like power of vision. The vision to penetrate the mist and fog of deception and see the landscape on which the devil himself walks. Every one of us is a landscape on which Satan prowls, looking for an advantage, a weak moment to reach out from his mist of concealment and put his claw on your shoulder. Don't deny it. We all feel the presence of evil. Walking behind us, evil. Reaching out to touch us, evil. We turn around. Are you ready to face it? Clear sight is your only defense. In Jesus' name, let us have clear sight of the devil. Now, people of God, come to his altar and pray. Pray for the power to see. As it says in Ephesians 6:10, put on the whole armor of God. It will protect you against the devil's schemes. Through your faith, you will gain power. Through your prayers, you will gain courage.
Hey, Stevie. That didn't take long.
All I needed was a couple of new hoses.
Hey, Laura? Honey, your car's back.
So, who's the big winner Saturday night?
Yeah, your pal, Riverboat Wayne. Cleaned us all out.
Figures.
Laura? Mr. Sweetser brought your car back. Come on down here, be polite and thank him. Don't know what gets into these girls sometimes. Laura! Get yourself out here right now.
Leave her alone. She's not even dressed.
Well, she can get herself dressed. Outside, thank Mr. Sweetser for fixing your car.
Dad, I'm...
Hey, here. Good manners.
Thank you, Mr. Sweetser. I hope it wasn't too much trouble.
Oh, no trouble, just a couple of hoses.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You need a ride into town?
Yeah?
Mount up.
Now that felt good, didn't it? God gave us a voice. We should use it. Use your voice to say, I matter. Use your voice to say, I'm a valuable person. Use your voice to tell the truth. God makes us a weapon of his truth, and he wants us to use that weapon. Today, tonight, tomorrow, till that bus comes back for us, we're a sisterhood. No one will tell us to behave like young ladies and be quiet. We will say what we know and say it loud.
Hey.
Hi.
So? Becky, make it off to the retreat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was relieved she's gone. Isn't that an awful thing to say?
What's wrong?
Why spoiling, Thomas?
No, I don't think so, honey.
Just I don't want to make the same mistakes with him that I made with the girls, that's all.
You two have a special closeness. It's wonderful to see.
The girls are jealous. The awful thing is, Bobby, they're right. I don't feel as close to the girls. Why can't I be affectionate with them? Wanna be?
Well, now, don't you think that it's normal for them to compete for your attention?
Yeah, normal for them, maybe. You know, but what's wrong with me? I mean, I have a hard time hugging them. And I can't even tell them that I love them. I just know it's not normal.
You know, if you're really concerned about this, I think that maybe you should talk to Pastor Ralph.
Yeah. Maybe I will.
It was her brother, not Tricia, who really wanted to go skiing. And it was her brother, not Tricia, who said the trail was safe to go down. But when the rescuers found them in the snow, one of them dead and one alive, it was Tricia who felt responsible, who felt guilty. Only here, with our love, she has begun to open up and talk about her pain. Now, she needs a different kind of avalanche. She needs us. So full of hurt and anger. What's wrong, Rebecca?
My father.
What about your father?
He did terrible things to me.
It's okay.
You have to tell Mom.
No.
Please, Rebecca.
Mom can't fix this.
You kids stay in your seats, okay? Just for a minute. Excuse me. May I help you? You're from the church, aren't you? Hi, I've seen you there.
My name is Jerry, Mrs. Bradshaw, and your daughters are coming to live with me.
What? Rebecca? Rebecca, what is she talking about? You're not leaving?
Yes, I am. We both are.
Why? Laura! Why?
Rebecca, please, you have to tell her. You don't have to say anything.
I don't want her to know.
Matt?
Sheriff, what are you doing?
I could be better, I guess. You know Detective Messenger, right?
Yeah, there you go. What's up?
Matt, we got a problem. There are accusations against you.
Accusations? What kind of accusations?
Let me have your weapon and badge, Matt.
Am I being arrested?
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney present during all questioning.
Huh? I don't need an attorney, okay? I can't talk to you guys. Who can I talk to? said you come home from the late shift, go into a room, wake her up?
No.
Well, this is what she's telling us, Matt. We're not making this up.
Pull her sweatpants down and have sex with her in her own bed?
No.
She said this went on for 3 years.
No.
But no, you didn't do it. No, your daughter's a liar. What? She's just lying her head off about this or what?
No. The girls are good girls. They're Christian girls. They wouldn't lie about this. It's true. I haven't been very close to them. Emotionally, I mean.
Why is that, Matt?
I don't know. But guys, I did not do this.
Then why is she telling us these things?
Sheriff.
Hello, Raleigh.
Heard you guys are sweating a sex crime suspect, somebody from the ranks, is that right?
You know Matthew Bradshaw?
Matthew Bradshaw, Republican County Chairman, guy that ran for state assembly a few years ago. He's your suspect?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Don't start off in the wrong direction on this, Raleigh. This isn't political.
How do you know?
Because I know who's making the charges.
Yeah, who?
Matthew, had you rather I come back later?
No, I'm just tired, that's all. My guts ache.
I pray that I can bring you some comfort, some certainty.
I wanted to come and see you for a while now. Talk about my kids. How I seem to be two fathers sometimes. Yeah, I was gonna come see you today.
Matthew, tell me more about having an evil side.
I'm not sure it's there. I just said I thought it could be. You know, like you said, Satan in the fog.
You have started on a righteous journey, my friend. Salvation awaits the penitent.
I know, but wouldn't it be a sin to confess falsely? I mean, see, I don't remember doing any of the things that they say.
Trust God. He won't permit you to remember anything that didn't happen.
So what'd the Reverend tell you, Matt?
He said I was on the path to righteousness and that I could find the truth.
So it can't hurt to confess, right? I mean, once you start down that road, memories often come back.
I've seen it happen lots of times.
You want to confess, Matt, I can hear it in your voice. You want to come clean before God.
I want to know the truth. Before God, I do.
So confess. Those memories will come back.
Yeah, but I don't. All right, I'll try it.
So what happened? Coming off your shift?
Yeah, and I would have, would have gone home. And maybe gone in the kitchen, had a beer or two. And then her room.
Go on, Matt, that's the way.
I would have gone in there. And the girls are sharing the same room then. Laura's on the top bunk, Becca's on the bottom. And she'd be wearing those yellow sweatpants. She always wore those. And then, I guess I would have pulled him down.
Keep going.
And I'd say, shh, you know, quiet. You know, like that. And then, I guess, I would have, you know. That's how I would have done it.
I mean, I'd hate to go to trial with all this, vague stuff we're getting now. What I could have or I would have. I'll tell you something. We'll get there.
I mean, the things he did.
Carl, are you okay with this?
Yeah, come on. I just hate to think about that sweet little girl all the way up there in that house. This guy, he's one of us.
I'll tell you what, any feelings of brotherhood that I have with Matthew Bradshaw just went up in smoke. Turns out the other daughter, Laura, she said we wrote a letter to her teacher explaining why she's been failing in school. It's wicked stuff.
My God, damn.
A lot of men would come over and play poker with my dad, and they would all get drunk. And one or two at a time would come into my room and have sex with me. In and out of my room all night, laughing and cursing.
Now, who went to those poker parties?
Well, you know who. Guys from the department. Stan, you were there a couple of times.
Yeah, if I'd seen anything like that, I would have known what to do.
The guys who did this are still out there. They're armed, and they know they need to cover their tracks. Why are you protecting them?
You know, it's bad enough that your girls were living in shame, possibly at the risk for suicide. Now they're living in fear, at risk for murder.
Oh, Jesus, God, help me.
Now tell us who they are!
Please.
What kind of father are you, huh? What kind of cop are you?
Help me.
What kind of Christian are you?
Jesus, please help me.
Help me! Help me see it! Yeah, you want to confess, Matt? I know you want to confess.
Jesus, please help me
And
remember.
God's given you the tools to do this.
Help me remember. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me.
One in, Dr. Kelson.
Where are we, Stanley?
Help.
Uncharted waters.
Help. Help me, Lord. Help.
Hello, Matt. I'm Dr. Kelson. I'm a psychologist. The sheriff's office has asked me to join in to try and help you. One of the things that would help you, Matt.
You know, I just can't see Matt Bradshaw doing that, not to his own daughters.
Well, anything's possible, right, Wayne? Used to work sex crimes before you retired.
3 years. It's a very weird world out there.
Didn't Rebecca Bradshaw once file a rape complaint against a neighbor?
Actually, it was Laura. It wasn't until later that Rebecca said he raped her, too.
Just a cry for attention, if you ask me.
I was the investigating officer on the one charge that they eventually dropped. There was a...
Hey, Stan.
Hey, guys.
Stanley, we were just talking about your case, Buck.
Really? Huh? That's why I'm here. We were hoping you and Steve might have a little time for us. Just, a little background on Matt.
Well, now?
Yeah.
I gotta go back to the motor pool.
That's all right, Steve. We'll square it with that.
Sure.
That's great.
Thanks, Riley.
Yeah.
It's a parade, nobody told me.
Wayne Everett, Stephen Sweetser will each charged with 1 count of statutory rape.
What? Who made the charge? Not the Bradshaw girls.
No, Matt Bradshaw.
You have the right to remain silent. Give up that right. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present during all questioning.
I hardly know Laura Bradshaw. I fixed her car a couple of times, but he said I raped her?
You raped her, And then you took pictures while Wayne Everett and Matt took their turns.
Bull! Bull, I did not do that. Show me the pictures.
You'll see him soon enough.
I need for you to say you understand your rights as I have recited.
In other words, you need to cover your ass, right, Carl?
Look, Wayne, you and I have had our personal differences, but this is not
I understand the Miranda. Now, what is this about?
This is about what you were doing to yourself in front of Laura Bradshaw while Steve Sweetser raped her.
No way.
Wayne, you work sex crimes. Hell, you helped set up safe procedures for victims in this county. Yet you seem to be doing the same thing every pedophile does, deny it. Now, come on.
Give me a lie detector, let's settle it.
How do you feel right now?
Scared! Hey, I know how this works, Bub. Even an ex-cop charges a cop guilty. You've already ruined my reputation.
If I did it, I deserve it. But
So it's possible you did do it then.
I'd have to be a pretty sick psychotic not to remember something as bad as that, wouldn't I? You lock me up or you give me that lie detector now.
Sorry, Wayne. Door number 1.
Okay, you can come in.
Hi, Laura. This is Frida Gibbons. She's with the Clarkwell Police Department. She's going to be joining this investigation. Since your dad's a sheriff's deputy, of course, we want to be open and fair about everything.
Laura, if you want to stop or take a break anytime, you just say so. That's your right. And you can have your advocate, your friend Jerry, here with you all the time, okay? You should know that your father admitted that he and his friends raped you during the poker games. That's right. But now, Rebecca was sleeping in the same room part of this time, right?
Bottom bunk.
But Rebecca never said anything about rape during poker games. Laura, I was in the room. It's really not very big. How could your sister not have heard these things?
Laura, we're going to lay out some photos for you. I want you to see if you can find the men who did those things to you. Are you sure?
Yes. I remember those poker parties. They used to come in and rape me in there. One of them would come in first, Everett or Sweetser. Usually Everett.
Rebecca, wasn't Laura sleeping on the top bunk for some of those years, in the same room?
Yes.
Well, she doesn't remember you being raped.
Maybe. Mother told her to keep quiet.
Your mother? Your mother was in the room when this happened?
Usually she'd just get me ready and leave.
Get you ready?
You know, ready.
But you never mentioned your mother before, or the poker games, or anyone but your father.
These things don't always come out in one dose. You know that. The memory of a victim is not like a videotape.
Yes. Go on, Rebecca.
So what's gonna happen now? My father gonna lose his job over this? Huh?
At least.
Rebecca, you know these are very serious charges.
Sure, I know that.
And what about little Thomas? Is he here?
Why do you want to see Thomas? So that Jerry can fill his head with lies about his father?
Roberta, these truths are coming from deep inside your daughters. It's very painful for them.
Well, it may be painful, but it's not the truth.
Your husband has acknowledged these things, torn them from their hiding place, looked them in the eye as you need to do. We can help rid you of this evil you carry.
I do not carry evil. And this stuff did not happen. God knows why Matt is saying it did.
God knows, and so does Matt. Maybe you should ask him.
Thomas sends his love. He doesn't understand what's going on with his daddy. He's not the only one.
I lived a whole nother life.
When did you lead this life? I mean, when was this huge piece of time that I wasn't with you? You want to know what I remember? I remember the day that we had Rebecca and how happy we were, or the day that we lost Angela and how hard that day was.
Yes,
to get
because
through.
those are easy things to remember. Now I'm working on the hard things. And Pastor Ralph is helping me. I think you ought to go see him.
Oh, he came, he saw me. He sat on our porch, and he told me that I was 80% evil.
You? Why, you weren't part of these things. At least I don't remember you being there.
Because I wasn't there. But with you saying all this other stuff, did you know that there is talk that I shouldn't have custody of Thomas? They may start legal proceedings to take him away. Do you hear me, Matt?
No.
Matt, do you hear me? These people are trying to destroy our family.
Roberta, I have done terrible things with my girls.
No, Matt, I don't.
I have
I don't.
betrayed my trust as
Please,
a father.
just stop
I have
saying
betrayed
all
my
this
trust as a
nonsense,
husband.
for
I have
God's
not
sake,
been
Matt.
faithful to you.
What?
I had an affair. I cheated on you with Helen Gautier. Well, you remember that, law enforcement seminar I went to in Sacramento? She was there with me. I was drawn to her. This went on for years. For years.
For years, Matt.
Roberta, there is a hidden world inside every single one of us.
That is bull.
No.
If there is a hidden world, Matt, it's because you kept it hidden.
No.
Because you lied and you covered it up.
No, you do not understand what I'm saying to you.
What I understand and I don't understand. You want to know what I care about? I care about my family and the little bit of my family that I have left. I promise you, no one is going to take away from me.
Roberta. Roberta!
Do you remember anything happening in April of that year?
Wayne and Steve came over to the house. Wayne said he wanted to have sex with Laura. Now, I was against it, but he just went on ahead into her room. Just then, Roberta came home.
It's the first time you mentioned your wife, Matt.
She was there. I see her.
Why didn't the two of you stop it right then? You had your weapon, right?
Was Wayne armed?
No, but we couldn't stop him. Because he was in control.
How was he in control, Matt? Tell us about the first time Wayne Everett controlled you.
It was years ago. Now, see, Wayne took me to this place that he knew of. There was drinking and dancing, sex all over.
Multiple partners?
Yeah. And then after, there was a ceremony.
Was this a satanic ritual, Matt?
Tell us.
Just... I see smoke. Tombstones. Oh, wait. Maybe they're people, you know, all in a circle. Wayne says...
What? What did Wayne say?
He said that these people would kill me and my family if we ever told. He said now I belonged. And I could never get out.
Why is he saying that kind of stuff? About Wayne Everett having power over your family? I don't like it when he says that kind of stuff. Why, Rebecca? Why are you afraid of that? You think something more horrible will be found out?
Yeah. And then I'll have to talk about more stuff. You mean recover more of these memories?
Yeah.
Can you remember anything now? Anything like that?
I remember my father carrying me out of bed in the middle of the night. And there was a lot of people waiting for us outside in the barn. Wayne Everett, Steve Sweetser, my mom, a high priestess. You're saying you were part of a ritual? There was a fire and a table and then some pitchforks in the ground. My father, he was wearing one of those, you know, those hats with horns, you know, like one of those Vikings. And then there was a baby, a human baby, about 6 to 8 months. The priestess, she held the baby up above her and they all began to chant. And then she laid the baby back down on the altar. They all had knives. And there was blood. There was blood everywhere. And later they would say, you will not remember this. You will not. That's why I didn't remember. That's why I couldn't remember. Oh, God, that's why I don't remember this. This is why I don't remember. Don't you see? Why? Oh, God.
Hello?
Hi, Pastor Ralph. It's Roberta.
Oh, I'm glad you called.
I sent Tommy to his uncle's, and the house is quiet, and I've had some time to think.
And what are you thinking?
If Matt
could lead this normal life and not remember any of those things, then I'm beginning to wonder what if I did too?
Why don't you come to my office and let me help you?
Wake up, Wayne. Come on. You got your wish.
Wayne, doesn't it make sense that only somebody who is comfortable with hurting other people or controlling them could commit the types of crimes you're accused of?
Yeah, I guess if you look at it that way.
Have you ever been with a prostitute?
No. Well, came close one time in Vegas.
Because if a person's in the business of selling her body, you could get them to do things you would not ask a loved one to do. Right?
Damn, Tim, this investigation is all over the map. I mean, it's bad enough this is a sex case involving county officers and their young daughters. You start adding Satan, you've handed my prosecutors one industrial-sized can of worms.
What am I supposed to do? I believe crimes have been committed, so do my detectives. And the prime suspect is admitted to them.
Polygraph's done.
And?
Finally asked him the key sex questions. Didn't tell the truth on a single one.
He's hitting me. They're saying I'm bad, and I'm fat, and
What is he hitting you with?
wood, kindling, and then they take me out, and they make me kneel on the living room floor, and
Go on, Roberta. Have faith.
I'm a victim. Oh, God! I'm a victim, too. Like my girls. Like my little girls. Oh.
Sorry, fellas, I got no state report today.
See what's happening here, Lowell? We might as well give pitchforks and torches to all the villagers and let them loose on Wayne and Steve.
Fort and your clients are being treated just like every other suspect.
You telling me that in this county, in every case, detectives can take 2 or 3 or 4 weeks to write up their reports on interviews? How are we supposed to provide alibis when you guys don't give us concrete information?
There's a ton of allegation in this case. It takes time. Besides, these victims are recalling horrible experiences they've repressed for years. Details are going to be in flux for a while.
Sexual abuse of this kind leaves a scar. Have those girls even seen a doctor for a physical exam?
Did your client get a polygraph like he asked?
A polygraph? Don't give me that. Have you turned up any admissible evidence?
Perhaps I should remind you, Counselor, Matthew Bradshaw's confession is evidence.
They took pictures of me naked.
Do you remember anything else? We buried some animals behind the barn.
About 25 over the years.
25 babies, human babies, killed and buried. Where?
I can show you.
We've marked off the area that Rebecca indicated. Yes, sir. I will. Yeah, the anthropology team just arrived. Yes, sir. I'll call you later.
I have so many scars. In school, in PE, I had to shower alone. I was ashamed of what they did to me.
When I was a sophomore, I got pregnant. They took me to the barn, a lot of them. baby out.
Dr. Casey, admitting desk, please.
I should explain what we're looking for. When you're done with your examination, your findings should be sealed in these envelopes. Okay? Thanks.
Sir, it's Stan. I just want to let you know they found something. No, it's definitely bone. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just a few weeks ago, we all watched what was one of the highest-rated programs of the season. It was a Geraldo Rivera special, and the subject was satanic ritual abuse in America. It should be no surprise, then, if the subject dominates our conference. It is a special interest of our first speaker, Mr. Malcolm Norton, a former federal law enforcement official. Mr. Norton.
When we talk about multi-generational ritual satanic abuse, the classic common elements seem to be as follows: forcible drug use, sexual abuse, both hetero and homosexual, witnessing abuse or torture.
Mr. Norton, I just wanted to congratulate you on a wonderful presentation.
No, sir. If you're Sheriff McGuane from Chapman County, I want to congratulate you. And we talk about Satanists, my friends, but this man actually puts them in jail.
I had a lot of help.
Well, you did a great job.
Thank you. Thanks very much. There were speakers there from all across the country. I mean, people are concerned.
No, people are addicted to talk shows, you mean?
Lowell, we have to move forward with this case.
I still don't know what case we're talking about. It's like everybody in that family was living in a different time zone. Laura's abuse was never witnessed by Rebecca, and vice versa, even though they lived in the same bedroom for 10 years. If Mother was part of this cult all along, why did they have to tell Mother about it? And everybody, including Matt, lived in fear of Wayne Everett. Wayne Everett and his unearthly powers. I mean, come on. Is this the same Wayne Everett that I know? Look, I'm not saying we won't make a case eventually. I just think we may need someone who really knows this area to make it all stick.
Okay. Okay, maybe you're right. I met some people at the conference.
No. I don't want somebody working the Satan circuit. I want someone with absolute credibility. Scientific credentials that are going to hold up in court.
Dr. Offsheet.
Yes, sir.
Detective Carl Messenger. District Attorney's in court this morning, so he asked me to meet you. And to tell you how happy he is to have you working on this with us.
Well, I'm happy to be here, too. I'm real interested in the prime suspect.
I mean, because he's a cop.
No, because he's confessing to being a perpetrator. See, most of the stories I hear are victim stories.
Matt, this is Dr. Offsheet.
How you doing? Hey, fine. Glad to have you.
He's going to be helping us for a few days.
Good. Have to get all this out, all of it out. If you can help, it's great.
Okay. Let's get started.
And this time it was Steve who took Laura in. Got her ready, took off her clothes, you know. Usually it was Wayne who went first.
And you did nothing?
Wayne was in control.
Man, I'm curious. What happened after that?
I don't understand.
These two men, they leave your house, right? Your daughter's just been brutalized. You know it. Your wife knows all about it. What do you do?
Just go back to normal.
Forget what's happened.
Yeah.
Until now, until you just remembered.
You have no idea how good it feels to remember all this. I mean, I know that sounds strange, but...
Tell me about Laura. She was what, 16 around the time this happened? Learning to drive. And did you let her drive the family car?
Oh, no. No, she drove the old Chevy Impala. You know, steering was a little tweaked, but basically a good car.
I see. Now, Matt, if I had asked you that question about Laura's car 4 months ago before you were arrested, do you think you would have remembered it then?
Sure, yeah. Don't forget stuff like that.
Well, what are the things you do forget?
That stuff that Satan has blocked. That's why this battle is so important.
He wanted you to know. What was hanging down from those trees then, Laura?
They were dolls. The white lady came and hung dolls from the trees and put blood on them.
And the lady, she was wearing a white robe?
Mm-hmm.
And you're sure they were dolls that were hanging from the trees? They weren't babies or animals, were they?
No.
The white lady, did she have a lot of magic power?
No. But there was this high and mighty man who could always see what you were doing.
Always see what you were doing? Even now, even here? Think he could read? Why don't you write it down? He'll never know.
Write what down?
The names of all the people with the white lady.
Now, I remember it was right after Christmas time, and there was 20 or 30. Mom, Dad, Everett, Sweetser, the priestess, the usual. And this night they brought out a goat. And Steve Sweetser had this huge sword, and he killed it. And then they made me undress.
Did he always kill him the same way, say, from the same side of the altar?
Huh?
That's like a really weird question, I know. You see, I'm like an anthropologist.
Oh, like Indiana Jones?
Exactly, Indiana Jones. And so I want to know all I can about the act of sacrifice.
Well, then he would catch the blood in a goblet.
Always the same goblet? Always the same one? All right, the robe. When they were wearing the robes, when did they wear their hoods up and when did they wear them down?
Is this really important? She was raped by those people, you know.
I have scars all over my body.
Recognize any of those names?
Of course I do. Some of them are Bradshaw's neighbors. You know, we hired you to try and make sense out of this mess, not expand the suspect list.
It's Laura's list, not mine. Now, Cooper told me that you had the girls examined for evidence of physical abuse and that the Bradshaw property had been excavated.
Those reports haven't been written up yet.
Well, I can interpret raw data. Actually, I prefer it.
It's less susceptible to embellishment.
Are you saying these girls are lying?
It's a distinct possibility that your investigators seem to have overlooked.
Look, Laura can be flaky, but Rebecca...
Rebecca Bradshaw remembers attending 850 cult meetings in 10 years. 850 meetings. Yet she can't remember a ritual chant
or anything that's on the altars.
So what? She remembers the crimes.
Does she? Look, Hart. Hypothetical. Okay? Suppose you tell me that you have season tickets to the Giants.
I wish.
And that you have attended 850 games. But I don't believe you. So I ask you a question. Who did the Giants play on July 15th? You answer me correctly. That still doesn't prove that you have season tickets. That proves that you can read a newspaper.
There's no newspaper accounts of the kind of kinky stuff that went on in that bedroom.
What about these?
Those are research. We had to get up to speed on this stuff.
Yeah, but where'd you get them? Libraries? Christian bookstores? Stay with me on this now. So now I ask you, how do you beat the traffic to Candlestick Park? What color's your seat? What's the name of the hot dog guy? What is the worst game you ever saw there? You answer these type questions, pattern background questions. You answer them correctly. And I know you've had the experience. I know you've been there. This kind of stuff, Rebecca draws a blank.
I don't buy it. But suppose you're right. Suppose she's making all this up. Then why the hell is Matt going along with the whole thing?
And look at the pressure the guy is under. He's exhausted. He's alone. He's trying desperately to please two detectives he admires and trusts. Listen, Messenger told me that Reverend Newton told Matt that God would not allow him to make a false confession.
But the man believes he's guilty with all his heart. How do you account for that?
It's Detective Sergeant Carl Messenger interviewing suspect Matt Bradshaw. Tape recorder with his permission. Is that right, Matt?
Right. Do you really want to put those girls through the agony of a trial?
Thought you were a bigger man than that, Matt.
All right, now listen. Maybe the reason I can't remember, I was thinking, maybe there's a dark side to me. Anyone could have an evil side, right? You might not even know. You might not even see it.
Suicide. But now they're living in fear at risk of murder.
Now tell us who they are! What kind of father are you, huh? What kind of cop are you? What kind of Christian are you?
Please help me, Lord Jesus. Help me see. Help me remember. You want to confess, man.
Help me, remember. You want to confess, and God's giving you the... Do this.
Help me, Jesus. Help me remember. Help me when you see it. Help me.
According to Dr. Kelson.
Where are we standing?
Help. Uncharted waters.
My little girl.
Hello, Matt. I'm Dr. Kelson. I'm a psychologist.
One thing that would help you, Matt, is if you stop asking for help. Just let yourself sit back. Now, just try not to think about anything. And just let yourself go. Relax. No one's gonna hurt you, Matt. They want to help. Just relax. What do you remember about those poker games?
I can see it. Laura's on the sheet. On the floor. She's... Her hands are tied. There's someone standing next to me.
Look at that person. Who is it?
I can't get a face.
Yes, you can.
Oh, yes, I can.
It's a friend of ours.
Yes, I can. Jesus, help me with a face. Help me see it, Lord. Help me.
Turn and look, Matt.
Help me, Jesus. face that keeps coming up is Wayne Everett.
What time of day is it, Matt?
Wayne wears a watch. Wayne's against the wall. He's got a watch on.
What time does it say on Wayne's watch?
The time I think I see is 2:30.
You think you see, or you do see?
I do see. It's almost like I'm making it up. But I'm not.
Yeah, well, no, it's... Hey, Dr. Offshee.
Matt, how you doing? Having a productive day?
Yes, sir. Well, we are getting some good stuff out.
Good. There's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Rebecca told me that you, she, and Steve Sweetser drove up to Black Lake in that old Chevy Impala. When you got there, you forced them to have sex in the back seat.
Boy. No, sir, I do not. I don't remember that. I don't.
Rebecca says it happened.
Well, I sure will work on it. I will.
Thanks.
You bet.
What was it all about? I don't remember Rebecca making those charges.
Funny old thing, memory. Thank you.
By the shore of the lake in broad daylight. It's hard to believe.
There it is in his own handwriting.
Right?
Wrong. A lakeside rape in an old Chevy, it never happened. I made it up yesterday as an experiment. I told Matt that Rebecca had said that this happened. This morning, his jailer hands me that. 3 pages of a detailed confession, including dialogue, to a crime that never happened.
How is that possible?
You have to listen to the tapes very carefully. When the detectives bring in your police psychologist, Matt's very upset. The doctor tries to calm him down. He lowers his voice, makes it soothing. Try not to think of anything. Let yourself go. Relax.
Hypnosis?
Exactly. Right after that, Matt goes into a trance. He's responding in classic trance logic. He says he's like seeing a movie. He sees things happening. He sees Everett. He sees Sweetser. Cooper wants to know what time it is. Matt reads a wristwatch from across the room. I'm sorry. It's just not the way human memory works.
But you didn't hypnotize him yesterday.
I actually think he's capable of producing auto-hypnotic states whenever he wants. Most of what he's confessed to is pure fantasy.
I don't know, this is all a little far up the ivory tower for me, Professor. I mean, people do repress bad things, don't they? Say, like combat veterans?
Some veterans repress details of the horrors they've lived through, but they all remember going to Vietnam. Matt didn't remember anything until your people started pressuring him. You asked me why he sincerely believes these confessions. I think I've given you the reason. I just wanted you to know what direction this research was going in.
I understand.
So now I don't think it would hurt if I knew the results of those tests.
The doctor couldn't find a significant scar on either girl.
And the bones at the dig?
Bone, singular. Part of an elk leg.
That house is in the woods, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This never happened.
Sure it did. I remember it.
I made it up. I found the lake on a map.
That's why you're trying to confuse me.
The question is, why are you confessing to these things that never happened?
It did happen. I saw it.
Where did you see it?
Last night in my cell. It gets quiet. That's when I work on my memories.
Well, tell me about that, Matt. How do you work on your memories?
Well, first I pray, and then I kind of lean back in my bunk, and I clear my mind. I read an article about that once. It taught me how. It's very relaxing.
That's it?
Oh, and then I don't know, after a while, a kind of white fog, cloud kind of thing comes. And I think about what happened, and then after a while, I get it. I can see it happen.
So you think about what the cops say happened, what Rebecca and Laura said, and then you see it.
Yeah.
Did it ever occur to you that these are fantasies or daydreams, that they're not real memories? Did that ever occur to you?
Yeah, sure, but it can't be.
Why can't it be?
Because God would not permit me to have a false memory. See? It's a blessing.
So anything the human mind can dream up is the truth. The voyage of Odysseus, Xanadu, King Kong.
No. But for a man like Matt, a man on a quest, locked in a mortal struggle with Satan, God provides him the gift of certainty.
Tell me, Mrs. Bradshaw, do you have a good memory? For other things, I mean, everyday things.
Yes, I think I do.
But the abuse that you remember when you're working with Pastor Newton, that's a different kind of remembering. A new kind.
Yes. Different and new, yes.
Not just imagined visions.
I hear what you're saying, Dr. Offshee, but if I didn't see all this so clearly, I would worry that I was crazy.
No one thinks you're crazy. I understand your youngest, Thomas, is coming home soon.
Yes.
Nobody's trying to take him away from you anymore.
No.
Because you're on the path to recovery. You're beginning to remember things. You've joined the side of the angels.
No matter what, Dr. Offshee, I am going to keep my son.
You think she's lying about being in the cult to keep the church from taking her son?
I can't say that. I can say that it would be an utter miscarriage of justice to prosecute Matthew Bradshaw based on any confession he gives in his current state. Now, that I would be willing to testify to. And I'd be very effective.
Doctor, are you threatening to go over to the defense?
No, I work for you, Mr. Hart. It's your responsibility to do the right thing.
Okay. Send it to me in writing.
See this?
What do you got?
Found a college kid who was missing. Tortured and killed by some devil-worshipping cult just across the border in Mexico. Lots of other burials, too.
Oh, God help us. At this time, we know little more than what is public knowledge.
The bodies were recovered from graves on a Mexican ranch. The victims were killed in a ritual manner involving witchcraft and voodoo. My department is in contact with the Brownsville, Texas PD.
Is the Bradshaw cult linked to Matamoros?
There is increasing evidence of a satanic underground.
Well, what about Malcolm Norton's claim that hundreds of satanic burial sites will be found in this county?
We're lucky enough to have him working with us on our search for these sites. As you know, since retiring from the FBI, he's become an expert on these cults. He's already here in town.
I'm getting started right away, directing an air search, looking for evidence of ritual burials. Using the latest in aerial search techniques, we will try to pinpoint their locations.
Now, for our part, we've asked the state for $750,000 to buy helicopter-mounted infrared scanners. We will locate these graves.
Dear Mr. Hart, what follows is my professional evaluation of the Bradshaw cases now before your office, along with some background materials from other writings. Rebecca and Laura Bradshaw are not credible witnesses. There's no evidence to confirm their allegations. In addition, Laura's allegations have nearly always followed Rebecca's lead. There's been so much crosstalk between the victims that we cannot know the actual source of any allegation. The invocation of satanic influence is not unexpected here either. When natural evidence to support the charges is lacking, one fallback explanation is that the supernatural has made it so, especially in an environment so highly charged with religious fervor. The brainwashing methods used on Matt by the police are more common than generally believed, and the longer he is made to repeat these false memories, the more he himself will believe that they are true. 300 years ago in Massachusetts, there was an outcry against Satanism. In that time, the accused were old, poor, outcast women, and the men who judged them were powerful and successful. Today's accusers are often young middle-class women. The accused are often the most powerful and successful men of the community. The players have changed places, but the potential for frenzy and injustice remains the same, in Salem then, or in Clarkwell today.
Hart. Yes, doctor, I read it this afternoon. Thank you for your efforts, but we're pressing forward with Bradshaw.
You're going ahead?
I'm not sure I buy everything in the report, doctor.
Well, if you buy even half of it, that should be enough reason not to prosecute him.
I'm sorry, that's our decision. Thank you.
To determine the gender of the control group. But the printer just used reply boxes, yes, no, no opinion.
Dr.
So
Offshe?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Horton Leggett. I represent Everett and Sweetser and Clarkwell.
Could you excuse us?
Doctor, there are two innocent men who have been sitting in jail for months, watching their lives and their personal reputations dissolve, all because of Matthew Bradshaw and his endless fantasies.
Well, I understood that Laura Bradshaw picked your clients out of a lineup.
Well, she'd already lied when she said her attackers were friends of her father. So when they showed her pictures of men, she just picked out faces she already knew. And as for Wayne's polygraph, that was a nightmare.
You don't have to convince me of the flukiness of polygraph.
Doctor, there are rumors going around that your report to Hart questions the girl's veracity and Matt's confessions.
I'm not at liberty to discuss my report.
But if you're convinced that Matt's confessions were made under duress...
Look, please, don't put words in my mouth. I'm in a very tricky ethical position here. I was hired by the district attorney. I can't just turn my findings over to the defense. The judge has to do that.
So that's part of the problem. I'm not sure the judge knows your report even exists.
Well, that's not right.
No. Just have everybody stand in place. This recess won't take but a minute.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I received this from a Dr. Offshe, who I understand was working for you.
Yes, Dr. Offshe was employed by my office.
Why wasn't his report included in discovery?
Well, it's not evidence, it's only his opinion.
But it's an important expert opinion, which all the defendants should be aware of.
Your Honor.
Distribute it. Immediately.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, I've just read the most interesting report. Look at the second page, top paragraph.
This says the girls are lying?
That's right.
You mean we're not the only ones saying it anymore?
That's right. The DA's office is trying to reach me.
You think they're gonna make us an offer?
I wouldn't be surprised. Plead to some misdemeanor, credit for time served, you walk.
I ain't pleading guilty to nothing. I didn't do nothing. He's right. No deal.
Tim, please, we've got to stick to basic evidence. If we keep going after the king of the underworld, we'll never get anywhere.
Matthew Bradshaw gave us the window into that underworld.
Well, if you'll pardon my saying so, it's a damn small window. Malcolm Norton's flying circus crisscrossed this entire county, didn't find a single satanic burial site. Meanwhile, back here on Earth, the good citizens are beginning to ask why we haven't prosecuted anyone in this case.
We can't go to trial. Know what we got on Wayne Everett and Steve Sweetser.
Offer him a deal.
I offered, they said no.
Well, we got Matt's confession. I'm pretty sure he'll repeat it for the judge.
It's got to be Bradshaw.
Bart, did you cut a deal with the DA?
DA's dropped all charges against my clients. They're free men. We have no further statements to make at this time.
Wayne, Steve. This town's been chewing up your name for months. You gotta say something.
Too angry to say anything. You've been a good soldier against Satan up to now. Despite his snares and deceptions, you have seen the truth of the past and spoken it aloud.
I have tried.
I know. But sometimes soldiers receive wounds, noble wounds, won in battle. This is your time, Matt, to receive chastisement.
God's chastisement?
Oh, no. Nothing so terrible. I mean, chastisement under man's law.
Reverend, no, I heard, guys in jail talking. That Dr. Offshee, he thinks I didn't do any of these things. And my girls have been lying.
Do you believe that?
No. I don't see how it could be true. But
don't be misled. Godless science loves a mystery because it believes this universe is unknown and always changing. But not you and I, Matthew, for we know God's love. And that love is our universe. There are no mysteries for us.
I just want this to be over, I just want my gut to stop hurting.
You know the path.
she'd be kind of dirty from all the men that had been with her, and so I'd clean her up and then kiss all the sore spots where the ropes had been. And then I left.
Very well, Mr. Bradshaw. You're pleading guilty to 6 counts of third-degree rape, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Your plea is accepted. A date for sentencing will be set by the end of the week.
I don't believe that you pled guilty. You have a defense, Matt.
There's no defense for what I've done.
I don't believe you did any of those things. You know what I think? I think those girls are lying about all that stuff to get back at you.
I thought about it, but I see my past so clearly now.
What you see are fantasies. Tell me I'm wrong. There are 2 kinds of memories, right? The normal kind, where you remember Chevy Impalas with bad steering and stuff like that, and then process memory, where all of those bad things took place, right? Tell you what, you confess one crime to me. Right here, right now, right in this ear. One crime, one bad thing that you truly remember doing. The normal way, the old-fashioned way, not the process way. You cop to one crime to me that you truly believe you did, and I will turn the key in that lock and throw it a mile into the Pacific. What do you say?
I can't.
Make them put you on trial.
Can't put my girls through that kind of agony.
Look what they've done to you.
I'm guilty.
You are not guilty.
I am guilty. I'm guilty. Prison is part of my penance. It is my way back to God.
This chart, or the contour map of hell, as I've heard it called, nearly filled one wall of an office during our investigation. Now, it took my staff many months and hundreds of thousands of dollars. First, to understand what it was we were dealing with, and then to successfully aid in the prosecution of a satanic cult member. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. It does feel good to win one.
Now, we're going to get you your old job back, Steve.
My old job where I had respect and people would talk to me, somehow I don't think so.
Frankly, I'm worried about Matt now that the heat's off.
What are you worried about?
Well, that he could wake up one day and realize that he's innocent. Understand all the damage he's caused.
You'll pardon me if my eyes remain dry.
Thomas! Come on, honey. It's time to go.
Please, Lord. Please help me, Lord. Please don't abandon me now, please. I have to see. So I know you're here. I know it's all in here. Let me see it. I know it's all in here. So let me see it. It's so close. It's so near. I can almost. Let me see it. Now let me see. Let me have clear sight, God, please. Jesus, let me have clear sight. Don't leave me here alone. In my house. Where are you? Jesus, let me have it. Where are you, Lord? Let me see it. Please, God. Do not forsake it.
Everyone used to be afraid of those old wild foxes.
I'm not afraid anymore. They're just like dogs.
Just like dogs.
Lord, let me see it. Please don't leave me here. Why have you forsaken me? Alone, yes. Yes, I'm in my house. That's where. Now, where are you? Where are you, Lord? No, wait, where is everybody? Lord, what happened? Where are you, Lord? Don't leave me now, see. Let me see. Let me see it. Please, come back. Let me see. Let me see. No, I can't be alone in here. No, Lord. No! I won't be alone. I won't be alone. No! I can't. I can't do this anymore. No! It's gone. Hey!
Matt, what's up? You okay?
Hey! It's gone.
What's gone?
The whole thing.
What whole thing?
The pain in my belly, the things that I made up, it's gone. Jesus took it away. Because none of it was true, because I made it all up to please them and to please God, but God doesn't want that. He loves me anyway.
Great.
No, wait, you understand? I'm innocent. I'm an innocent man.
Yeah. Me too.
Well, here we go.
I am Rebecca Bradshaw. I was the daughter of Matthew Bradshaw. I've suffered so much at the hands of my father. I hope, Your Honor, that you will impose the maximum sentence on him. I believe that he will either kill me or Laura if he has any chance. He's destroyed me and Laura's life. He's destroyed our family, and he doesn't care. He's a very dangerous person, Your Honor.
It's all right. Mr. Bradshaw, you have a statement before sentence is passed?
I stand before you. I stand before God. I have never sexually abused my daughters. I am not guilty of these crimes.
Mr. Bradshaw, not long ago you stood in this court and recounted details of the crimes to which you were pleading guilty. Now you say you're innocent. This court will not be manipulated. You are hereby sentenced to the maximum term on each count for a total of 20 years. Court is in recess.
Take the pressure off and he snaps back to normal.
So what?
So what? So now he knows none of this ever happened. He has to appeal.
Doctor, you appeal the decision of a jury or a bad judge. You don't appeal your own confession.
Oh, it's not over as far as I'm concerned. I have scars all over my body from what Everett and Sweetser did to me. And the law in this county is gonna do nothing to put them away? It's outrageous. But not so mysterious when you know the whole story.
Sheriff?
Good morning, Raleigh.
Sheriff, I interviewed Rebecca Bradshaw yesterday. Before we run the story, I'd like to get your comment.
Sure.
She said your department let Everett and Sweetser go because there's still a dozen or more satanic cult members on active duty.
Who does she say they are?
She hasn't said yet. Who knows? Maybe you'll turn out to be high priest.
Never.
Never? Or just don't remember when?
All right, Bradshaw, you're limited to the state pens here.
Matthew Bradshaw remains in prison. He has exhausted his appeals in state court. Concerned citizens of Matthew Bradshaw's home state have asked their governor to reinvestigate the case.